Well, welcome back to GTA San Andreas and to the definitive edition, the updated and enhanced versions of this fantastic game. I've been playing all three of the trilogy versions since they came out, and I have to say I am impressed. I've made a lot of positive comments about it. I know that there are a lot of bugs and issues that have not been fixed. These are not new things that Rockstar have accidentally added in. They're just things that they've not taken out. And that means that it's left some of the GTA community feeling like they shouldn't really be charging us £60 for these three remastered and remodeled games. I don't think it was ever their intention to strip the games of all the bugs. I just don't think they've got the manpower right now working on GTA and GTA Online, getting ready for the DLCs for both GTA and Red Dead. I just don't think that they have it on their roadmap. I don't think that this game was supposed to be released at this stage. I think we all know that there was supposed to be the GTA 5 expanded and enhanced version earmarked for that particular date in November, and then they pushed it because they weren't ready with that. And I think they prioritized that. I think they knew that they could put the games out and they could probably remove these bugs at a later date, and they're probably fine with that. The important thing for me as a GTA community member and a player and an enthusiast of these games is that they look fantastic. Yes, there are some stupid bugs, and there always were. I remember playing GTA San Andreas when it first came out and playing through a few times after that as well, and there are all sorts of bugs and exploits that you can take advantage of if you're into that kind of thing. But for me, I'm just enjoying the story and the characters and the build of the characters and the story arcs as it's intended to be enjoyed. And that's what Rockstar wanted to do with these games. They were groundbreaking games and remain classics, and this game in particular, San Andreas, is probably most people's favourite GTA game of all time. They certainly consider it to be the best GTA game of all time. And why is that? And I think it is the story and the characters in this particular game, and the fact that it does feel like you're able to sort of personalise your character a little bit more with the addition of adding weight and losing weight and things like that. And this was the first kind of opportunity to start tailoring your character and personalizing it, which we know has gone way further than that. I mean, I was never that impressed with the way that GTA 4 allowed you to personalize the custom. I just didn't think that the outfits were that good and there wasn't that much going on. Obviously with GTA 5 things got way better, and then of course with GTA Online, which completely revolutionized the whole GTA landscape, things changed dramatically. Now you could customize almost every aspect of your GTA character life. Of course, with these games, we're talking about these story modes. These are not online games, so it is a fixed story and fixed missions, and some of you will recognise some of the missions, and I certainly have enjoyed going back and having a look at the missions again. And a big thing which I keep harping on about is the fact that the GTA 5 controller layout has been adapted and used for these enhanced games, and I think that that is a big point, because I actually bought the trilogy when it was available on the PlayStation Store before they removed it, and I tried to play these games with the old PlayStation layout on my Xbox controller, or my PlayStation controller rather, and it was very difficult to play because you're driving with a button and it's very different, and it went against everything that I've sort of learned and developed as a player from the GTA 5 and from my GTA Online skills. So having found out that they were going to use the GTA 5 keyboard and controller layout, I was super excited, and it's made these games so much better to play. You can drive a lot easier, you're not struggling with that, and I think shooting, and you just retain those skills that you've developed, as I say, through playing GTA 5 and GTA Online, which is important when you're playing some of these quite difficult missions where you have to do a certain number of things in a certain amount of time. And I remember battling quite hard playing some of these games before, particularly San Andreas. I remember some of these missions gave me some serious, some aggro, and I had got some GTA skills that I developed from playing GTA Vice City and Liberty City, but I definitely found that after playing San Andreas, I realised that I needed to work on my skills, and over the course of playing GTA 4 a few times, GTA 5, I developed, and obviously I've been playing GTA Online for some time now, and you get better and better at it. But the best thing about playing these games now is that these missions don't take you forever. You only really need one crack at it. Sometimes you'll die a few times if you're making silly little mistakes, and that's okay. You can just go back from the checkpoint and I'm enjoying playing the games, seeing how they play out. I've had a lot of fun revisiting Vice City, Liberty City, and San Andreas, and I'm so excited to be able to bring these to my channel and show everyone how the enhanced and expanded editions of these really look. We're talking about a huge amount of work that's gone into getting these games up to modern day standards, and I don't think that should be sniffed at. It's not an easy thing to enhance a game that is 20 years old. It is difficult, and they've done a lot of work to make it so that when you're looking at it on the big screen, I play these on quite a large TV, it does look and feel amazing, and it doesn't look like you're playing an old game, and that is perfect. That's what you want. You don't want to suddenly feel like you've just traveled back in time. And I know that these games have a lot, there's a lot to be said for the fact that they're kind of retro style games, whatever, but they're also Rockstar games, and we're used to playing GTA 5, which looks exceptional, and especially if you're playing on a next-gen console like I am with my Xbox Series X. So I'm now playing these games on my next-gen console, and they look and sound fantastic, and I love it. I love jumping into my Xbox and finding that I've got a whole new trio of games which I can play aside from just playing Red Dead or GTA Story or GTA 5 Story or GTA Online. So what's next? Well, I know that Rockstar are going to be looking at trying to fix some of these bugs, and that won't involve them removing them from from the digital. It's not like the PC problem that we had. Obviously everyone who played PCs, a lot of people bought those games and then they had to be removed, and it's slightly different for the games launcher. When you buy the games, and I bought the games, the digital version of the games when they came out, they're yours, so they can still update those games whilst you've already bought them, and without you having not to be able to play them. You'll just log in one day and notice that the game itself needs a bit of an update, and that'll be a load of fixes and stuff that will basically fix and sort out some of the problems. One of them is the rain, for example. When it rains in San Andreas, it's pretty much impossible to see anything. It's such a heavy rain. I just don't think they got that quite right, and I know some modders have actually done some fixes on that, but I mean, you shouldn't need to rely on modders. Rockstar can fix their own games, so stick with it, bear with it. These games are fantastic, and I've just got to the point in the game where I'm starting to see the character development for CJ. I've just met in this particular mission my first sort of romantic interest, Denise. I remember when I played this the first time, that was the first time I'd really seen that in a GTA game. The games before this, that came before this, that I played were GTA 3 and Vice City. And there was great stories and great music, and it was a fantastic experience, but there were very limited sort of role-playing aspects to the game, and this was where they started to introduce the RPG side of things and bring in that aspect of making choices about whether you pursue a relationship with someone or whether you make choices. And we know that they developed that going forward, so that you always saw a lot more of that in the other games. But this idea of having these kind of romantic relations and choosing to date and spend time and for payoffs, that continued into GTA 4, which came after this one. So stick with these games. Don't listen to all of the negative comments. I think a lot of people like to moan just for the sake of it. There are some bugs, yes, but they're not game-breaking bugs. You might notice something weird as you're going around, and a lot of people I'm seeing making videos showing the exploits which were available 20 years ago, not back in when this game came out. That's nothing new. I was doing those exploits back in the day. But there's nothing in here that is breaking the game. It is a completely fantastic experience to play it, and I think it's totally worth the $59.99 that I paid for it, because you get 3 games, which will keep you busy for some time until we get the next GTA DLC update. Should be coming sometime in the next couple of weeks, I reckon. We might start hearing something about it very soon, possibly next week. Who knows? Well, you take care out there, stay safe, and remember, don't listen to all the negative comments. I'll be back very soon.